Hey everyone, let's look ahead to what the November is bringing us and what might be coming up for you in this month ahead. What are the energies? But before I dive into that, let's have a look at what happened that last month. So last month in October, I said this. So what I didn't put in is that these portals that are opening through this new energy that is coming in, that is infusing our systems with new codes, new ideas, new concepts, maybe new connections, even who knows, they are also opening up a kind of a portal in consciousness, if you will. And similar to full moons that open up these mini portals, but these are gateways that people or souls choose to walk through, especially at big blood moons, like bigger full moons. And this is a similar time that is coming up in October. So I do see some significant person leaving the stage. Okay. I'm not feeling a politician again. I'm feeling this will be of natural causes, but this may be someone who was in the public eye, who's a celebrity. I do see that light just, yeah, kind of moving, shifting into something else. And this. Another thing that showed up for me was something with the oceans and the water. So I'm not quite sure what that is about, but I'm feeling as some kind of upheaval around oceans or water. This may be due to hurricanes, maybe due to an earthquake. I'm not something to do with the oceans or the water. Okay, this is going to be significant in October in some way, shape, or form. And this happened. And that happened. So let's see what's coming up for November. Now we're just about, as I'm doing this video, we're 5 or 6 days shy of the perihelion of Three Eye Atlas. There's a lot going on around Three Eye Atlas. I'm still keeping my eye on it, and you guys should too. And apparently now it has changed its trajectory, and the trajectory change is so great that it can't be a natural occurrence. So dive into that, but know that this is definitely also going to have an impact on our planet as all these bodies start communicating with each other and talking to each other. So this is a fantastic time on a personal level to initiate things, to start things, to, do those things differently that you've always wanted to do, to acquire new habits, to change your life somehow. This is the perfect time for it. And utilize that energy of Three Eye Atlas, even though it's still going to be communicating with us till the end of December at least, if not till next year, June. But it's going to, yeah, there's a lot of energy right now that hasn't been there before. So I really, 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 it behooves you to take advantage of it. Advantage. I dislike that word. To utilize it to your best. So let's have a look otherwise at what's going on. Things are moving so fast and so rapidly, I can't keep up. I always have to take breaks every now and then from diving into the collective. The energy on social media has definitely shifted. I've been seeing a lot more creators out there that are either leaving platforms or doing videos on why they can't do things the way they used to do anymore, and so on and so forth. And I've been feeling that for quite some time, as you guys know. I've also done videos before explaining every now and then, my side of things here. But it's interesting. So if you want to keep up with me like on a more regular basis, for some reason I'm over on TikTok and there it seems to be flowing much better. So it's I do quick videos over there, so make sure you join me there, but also join me on my Patreon. Yay! So let's dive in. But like I said, things are moving so quickly, so fast, it's really difficult and tricky sometimes to keep up. And for example, I already tried to do this video, and when I did this video, what came up for me to put through and say was that that conflict between Venezuela and the US is going to play a bigger role in November than we think right now. And that the US is actually gearing up for, a run-in with Venezuela. And so then all of a sudden the news hit that Venezuela made an offering, started talking to Trump, like, let's work this out kind of deal. You can have this, you can have this. But apparently it's not good enough because now Trump has released a statement that it would be possible for the US to engage in Venezuela. And that, like, look up his remarks in regard to that. I don't want to repeat them on my channel, but look it up and you'll see what he said. So I think what was stated in that video still counts, even though unfortunately I deleted it because I thought after Venezuela said, hey, let's, you can have this, this, and this, I thought, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but seemingly it is. And as of 2 days ago, I think Trump had also halted trade talks with Canada, because Canada apparently referred to some kind of an advertisement which was taken out of context, they say, but it wasn't, and it's this huge thing now. So things are, I don't know, they're looking for a reason. Everybody's so on edge right now. Everybody's saying, just give me one reason, just give me one reason. And it feels like all the countries like Europe and East are trying to keep it together and not fall apart that quickly, trying to, maintain balance and order as the world transitions out of this US-led system that we all find ourselves in. So let's have a look how that's going to impact the collective, or what other energies might be impacting the collective, but also on a personal level. And personally, November is not going to be too bad, but collectively, so let's have a look at the collective first. And what's coming up for the collective, please, in November? In November 2025, what does the collective need to know? Yeah, so we've left Kansas. We have left Kansas. We're out of Kansas. Yeah. So it's here with the first card that flew out is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, we see this man walking away, and he's walking away to find his ninth cup of bliss, fulfillment, happiness, and joy. He's taken the test of the Seven of Cups, which is where he saw all those cups in the sky offering all these various things, and he chose none of it. That's the whole key towards the Seven of Cups. He chose himself. He chose his own happiness. So the action taken in the Eight of Cups is walking away from temptation, walking away from distraction, dissatisfaction, walking away from all of that and focusing on what makes us happy, right? So this is a return to something as well, a return to original self, a return to self. So we can see this also in a kind of a nationalistic way, because as I've been saying in most of my videos that are doing the year ahead readings, by the way, year ahead readings are up, so check the description box below this video, and you'll be able to book your year ahead reading, or join me over on Patreon for the year ahead live that I'll be doing a month from now. So in any case, this growth in nationalism is only going to continue. This pulling back out of globalism, this pulling back out of the being so open and we're all one world. We're still that, but now the breath is moving back inward, so to speak. At the same time, November is hanged man energy, so decisions that need to be made are stalled. And so whereas, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of, stuff being put out there, it feels like things aren't really moving ahead the way these people have it planned. It's not really moving ahead the way that they desired it to work. For example, in England, they're trying to implement the digital ID, and over 2 million people signed a petition that they wouldn't partake in that they didn't want that wasn't what they were, they were born here for, so to speak. And the government decided to, ignore that. But this is leading to other things, right? Now that step has been taken. And another thing that happened is one of the 15-minute cities trials, let's call it, that has been taken down because these people went and took down all the cameras, took down everything. So the city can't function. So literally, they have to think about closing that project down. And so things are not really working the way that they intended to. Things have kind of stalled. They've come to a stalling moment here, and things are being rethought. Like they're rethinking, how can we go about this? How can we do this? Next up, we have the Ace of Wands, new inspiration, right? Everybody's waiting for new inspiration. But for some reason, I'm focusing on A and I. I don't know, it just popped out at me. But it feels like this new inspiration is going to make another leap, or some kind of new knowledge is going to come out in November around that. But here we have, once again, holding on traditional values, holding on to the past. And this is a Four of Pentacles. So underneath it all, we've got the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords has to do with knowledge. So what I'm picking up, you guys, for the month of November, for the collective, it feels that, yes, while nationalist rhetoric will continue and will continue to pull people on their side, no matter if these people are smart enough to know it's all a game, they don't care. People love to, be able to push down on other people so they can elevate themselves. So they're going to continue to bite on that. But everything else that is happening or being thrown at people is coming to a stall. There may be an explosion, like something going boom in November with the Ace of Wands, and which is conflict. And but it would be short term, and it would be small, localized, and just a boom that would be happening. But ultimately, people are trying to hold on to what they have, hold on to what their resources, hold on to what they own, hold on to their territory, so to speak. And people continue in all the talks and negotiations, people continue to, their countries continue to toe the line, hold the line, and kind of stay stubborn. There's a new wave of energy coming up from the South. That's also what I'm picking up. Um, the South is wanting to take care of themselves more and not be caught up in this whole global thing that seems to be happening. They're really focused. They already saw the writing on the wall, and now they're like, you know what? It's written. We're not going to argue about it. We're not going to discuss it forever. We need to take action now. Need to take care of ourselves, and that's what they're going to do. So we have the Page of Swords, which is really interesting, and it has to do with information. Page of Swords is about acquiring knowledge, acquiring information. So what I'm picking up as I'm touching the card is it feels like something around spying coming up in November, maybe a story around spying, or maybe spying will pick up for some reason, right? They're looking for something. There's something is being sought or looked for. That's what it feels like. Let me get a clarification card, please. Also has to do with the economy. Queen of Pentacles, or a lot of money. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, or a lot of money. And it feels as if, another clarification card, please. Yeah, it feels with three of swords, so sadness here, right? Like looking for a solution for the economy and not really finding one yet. And it'll it'll all work out though. It'll all work out. So what else is coming up in November, please? What else do people need to know about November collectively, globally, worldwide? What else is coming up for November, please? Collectively, globally, worldwide, what else is coming up for November? What do people need to know? What will be in the headline for November? Headline. And again, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, right? So money, the economy, but also a dark-haired woman. Here we have the Queen of Cups, another fair-haired woman, emotions, Five of Cups, disappointment, Page of Wands. Maybe she had a child, or some kind of message based on the disappointment here. So it feels as if, oh, look, and the King and Queen of Pentacles showing up together. Significant, and right behind it, Two of Pentacles. Wait, wait, wait. Okay, so it feels as if emotional grief, right? Sadness has gripped the feelings of the world, and we kind of share that. And there's this cloud, but it's not really a heavy, heavy cloud like it used to be, but it's still kind of rolling over, even though it's kind of diffuse, if that makes any sense. That's kind of laying down over all of us in November. So if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling out of sorts, if you're feeling, remember, don't personalize everything. Not everything is you. You're living in this society, in this world, and we're all going through something, and the energy is going to reflect that. So it's something that for you sensitives, if you're sensitive, you always have to keep in the front of your mind so you don't personalize it and make it about you and think it's all yours. And then make some rash, hasty decision based on that, right? So, but there's some kind of a disappointment that's being addressed or coming up in November. Um, some kind of a global disappointment. It feels like because I'm reading the collective here, so a disappointment in a woman, in a female, in or the female disappointed. I don't, but it's this general atmosphere of, oh, are you kidding? So, yeah. Okay, let's dive into the personal stuff. And the personal stuff is November was a month of new beginnings for some of you. We've got the Fool. And the new beginnings that I'm sensing are long overdue because they're new beginnings of authenticity. Here we have the magician. So absolutely, and they're in order, right? The fool and the magician. So it's a new beginning of authenticity. And this new beginning you may have manifested, but this new beginning may also be something that allows you to manifest what it is that you truly desire. It also feels as if some of you are getting more in alignment because 0, 1, you're getting more balanced, you're more in alignment, you're more in alignment with your truth, and you're able to live that truth. So if you're not seeing what your mind is wanting to see and manifest, right, look around to see if what you're living is making you soul feel at least comfortable or balanced, and you'll see what's happening and that you are manifesting, but you're manifesting on this soul level. Here we have the Queen of Swords. So there may be some need for clarification of something. There might be some, I don't know, bureaucracy or paperwork or something like that. We've got the Emperor coming up in November. So some kind of structuring. Ace of Pentacles might be business. Some of you dealing with business, King of Swords, something like that. Five of Wands. Ooh, okay. So the month of November might be following your dreams. Seven of Cups. The month of November for some of you that are in business or have your own business might be a little tricky, okay? Make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, or cross your T's and dot your I's, or what have you. But I'm feeling more about it's kind of a battle how you're going to structure your business and to find maybe investments or people that decide for you and your business. And it's about how can I make myself more visible, more seen, more heard, but especially more understood. And it really feels like, hmm. This may be a month where you go all in. Five of coins, feeling left out, feeling left alone, feeling coming up too short. Nine of Pentacles, and I'll place that at the end of the month. And how do we get from the Five of Coins to the Nine of Pentacles? And we've got the, oh, okay. We've got the Nine of Swords, the Nine with the Hermit, and the 12, the Hanged Man. So it feels like some of you that are watching this, and the outcome is the Three of Pentacles to lead to the Nine of Pentacles. Either you need to share your grief, your pain, your story, or you're still working through it and taking that time to work through it, and this is what has stalled you, or you're overthinking things in your business to the point that you can't move forward, okay? And that needs to end. You need to figure out how to share that, how to share what you have to offer with others. And you'll see that they will find value in it. And when they find value in it, you get the Nine of Coins, right? So let's see what else is coming up that people need to know for the month of November here. Six of Wands has to do with victory. It has to do Nine of Wands, holding your ground. And the Chariot. Oh, this is all positive here. Eight of Cups. So those of you that are making a decision to move forward and move on and to start fresh and start new, this is positive. This is absolutely the right time to do it, the perfect time to do it, and it's going to work out for you. Some of you may be getting a new car, you may be moving somewhere distant, but it also feels like this is a month where you have the confidence to stand your ground, to stand up for yourself and to stand in for yourself as well. So you're not taking anything from other people anymore. Like that's done, it's over. Those days are over. And it's time for you to stand up for yourself, to articulate yourself, to draw your line in the sand and know that, it's perfectly fine. And if it's not fine, it's still fine because at least now you know, and that person wasn't yours anyways to begin with, if they're upset with you speaking about your emotional truth. So what else here? What else do people need to know for November? We've got the devil. It's interesting. We're moving into, yeah, the fool. Okay, be that light in the darkness. The Queen of Pentacles, have a budget, the Hierophant. Yeah, so it's not a time of frivolity, okay? You're gonna have fun, of course, of course you're gonna have laughs and smiles and share hugs with your loved ones. But overall speaking, it's not an atmosphere because that's what I'm reading, right? Is an atmosphere. It's not an atmosphere of joy and happiness and yoo lightness of being, generally speaking, out there in the collective. It's more subdued, more focused on the economy, how to get through, what's coming up this winter, preparing, stocking, things of that nature. And it's kind of a weird in-between energy where I feel the old ways are breaking down and no longer hold true, but the new rules haven't been written yet. So it feels weird and in a limbo place. And it's going to continue through the end of the year for that. But that's okay because we're getting in new information ongoing as we move through this, and new information is coming in, new realizations are coming in, and we're going to be utilizing that, all of that from next summer, I'd say forward. But there are other things coming up next year as well, which we'll dive into over on my Patreon for the year ahead reading. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm wishing you a bright, beautiful November, and for you personally. And I'll see you on the next one. And join me over on TikTok. I'd love to see you there. Take care. Bye.